Hey, it's Pete. I'm here at the Saltwater Edge. This is my plug bag from the front side of the May full moon. I was fishing sand beach mostly, and these are the lures I was using. So we'll go through my main bag, and most of the nights I was fishing anywhere from a calm to a light wind in my face. So let's just go through and see what we got here. Super Strike bottle plug. This is always in the bag in every condition, but this did really well for me. It's a great way to find current and find fish. This is actually a Super Strike red eye popper that I swim at night. It's mainly used just for distance. We'll go back to that one because it's a little bit embarrassing. This is a NorthBar Sporting Wood darter. This is always in the bag. SP minnow. I take the back hook off. It gives it a little bit more erratic action, and when you're dealing with little fish, you don't have to worry about a hook in your hand. Another bottle just in case I lose one. And this is the Slump Buster Night Saver, just in case I'm not catching any fish. Mag darter, purple. And elephants do eat peanuts. I got a really, really big fish on that this last moon, and it got it during the day. Sheer luck. Leader wallet, it's always in there. And another really good one for distance is Voorhees Needle Glide. All these are upgraded to BKK Viper 41s. I don't want to straighten out any hooks. And Lone Diablos on the back. And upgraded split rings. So if you hook a big fish, you don't want to lose it. In the 1-2 bag, I've got a Voorhees Slim metal lip, just in case there's a lot of really big bait around, or there's a lot of little fish. I'll switch over to that to get rid of the little fish. There's another darter, Super Strike. This is for more shallow water, and the wood one's for a little deeper water. Boga. This is my Your Liar Liar Pants on Fire kit. This is a 60-pound boga and an NLBN ruler that's full of sand from checking the length of a fish. I don't hang many fish on the boga. It's got to go to a certain size on the ruler before I even think about putting it on the boga. That's there. This is my soft plastic pouch. And in here I have a light 8-inch NLBN. This is on a tuna hook, so they can't straighten it. I'm not real particular on colors. There's still a bucktail in here, of course. This is 12-inch tandem rigged Sluggo with the BKKs. And this was from last night's seminar. Let's see. And if the fish are picky, and I got to cheat, this is just a 150 round paintball tube with big split ring on there, and an industrial zip tie taped on, and a carabiner to clip to the belt. And it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I just rigged this. I rigged one last night. And in here are the cheaters. Oh, it's an eel skin Super Strike needle. This is going to get the bite when nothing else does. Gets you a lot of distance. And eel jig. So these are the secrets, so I'm not going to show them too much, but they're in there. And if they don't want to eat the plastic, I'm going to get them to eat the meat. And that's my bag. That doesn't change very much for the sand beach for the whole season. That's pretty much what's going to be in there. Sometimes there's doubles of lures. I'll take one or two out and change it with another, but that's mostly it. All right, so the lures in front of me, each one of them, I like to carry this complement of lures because it's very universal, but they all have a time when they shine. Your Super Strike darter, I use on sand beaches and shallow boulder fields like out in Montauk where the water's not as deep, because this plug doesn't dig as deep as a wood darter. Now a wood darter like the Sporting Wood or a Beachmaster or a Franktown will swim better outside the rip, but a lot of them also dig a little deeper. So I use this when I have deeper water in front of me, and I use this one when I have shallow water in front of me. And the wooden darters also seem to shine when you don't have a lot of moving water, because besides having a zigzag action, they also swim a little bit. So that's when I go to those, the wooden darters. Bottle plugs, I use all the time, either for finding where current is in between sandbars or rock piles, and also for distance. Both these are fish catching killers. Yeah, this is very universal. This is always going to be in the bag. The big metal lips like the Voorhees trollers or pikeys or whatever you're going to throw, I like when there's a lot of little fish around, because this is going to weed out that and cull a bigger fish. At the end of every tide, this comes out of the bag, gets at least 5 or 6 casts. You just need a little bit of deeper water, and you have to be able to reach fishable water, because there's not a metal lip out there that casts great. So you need to have either the tide dropped out so you're on the back of the sandbar, or the water all the way up and the fish in tight to be able to throw one of these metal lips. And a Super Strike popper, a lot of guys like to throw these at night because you get a lot of distance, and the flat face that you normally pop, I just let it catch the current and it swims back. So I don't pop these at night, but I'll throw them out to the corner of a sandbar and let it swim into the cut, and then just work it back. You're going to be able to cast. This is probably the best casting one that I have in my bag out of all these lures. Voorhees needle, same thing. I'll throw in a little bit of shallower water, and I impart the action to this. You can just swim it, but I'll twitch this one so that it mimics a fish trying to get away. I move it a little bit faster, and it casts really well. And like I said before, the slump buster. Everything eats this. Big fish eat this, little fish eat this. If you're not getting any fish at night, throw the little mag darter. Something, if there's anything around, something's gonna eat it. At least you don't go home with the skunk. And it doesn't take up any room. Fit it here, probably could fit it here. SP Minnow, same thing. Everything eats this plug, and it's extremely universal. It's got a lip, so it digs into the water. You can cast this thing pretty far, and it's smaller than a stick shad, and it's a lot cheaper than a glider. That's the problem with the BKKs. They're so sharp, dude. My hands are always bleeding. You can twitch this on a fast retrieve and get a reaction strike just like you would with a glider, especially if you take the back hook off. It moves extremely erratic, and this one's a quarter of the price of a glider, and same thing, takes up no room. Especially with no back hook, you can slide this thing anywhere. Always like to work the bottom of the water column. The weights will change, but an 8-inch straight tail casts really far, and soft plastics a lot of times get strikes when you won't get them from the plugs. And then a big 12-inch Sluggo can be worked really slow in shallow water, which is important for big fish sometimes. If you know there's big fish around and you're not getting hits on the plugs, I'll just stick to the Sluggo. It casts almost as good as a darter when you don't have much wind, and I just let this thing sit on the top of the water. You could fish it in 5 feet of water, 4 feet of water, 3 feet of water, and you just twitch and let it sink, and retrieve and twitch and let it sink. And this is tandem rig. They're pretty easy to do. These are just 2 big BKK Lone Diablo hooks, and you tandem rig it, you run a rigging needle through, tie it to the top hook, and then you glue it. And that's it. If you want to figure out how to do these, I watched Steve McKenna's videos, and I just followed how he did his. And I added zip ties so they don't rip as much, so you can get a couple fish out of this. This one's been eaten a bunch of times, you can tell, and still holding up. And a bucktail. We all know how to use these. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and you can find all these plugs and want to do some really good shopping over here at the Saltwater Edge.